Alrighty, welcome back YouTube. We are here at probably one of the scariest places in Lubbock. So what a better fitting way than, starting off spooky season than playing the course that is one, scary to my ego, and then two, scary for all my discs because they might hit a whole bunch of trees in the fairway. On to hole one, we got a par 3, 304 feet. You got a little bit of a triple mando. The gap is kind of tight, so you kind of need to flex something off to the left side of the fairway and have something kind of just go back right. So probably like an overstable fairway, or if you got the power, an overstable mid-range. Just force it off to the left side of the fairway and then kind of just hope that you get a skip up off to the green, or if not, hopefully you don't sail too far past and you could at least give yourself a putt by ending up short right, up close to like probably the next tee box. But it kind of opens up the gap a little bit, so you can have a effort to actually attempt a putt right there. But there is a lot of early stuff that you could kick, so I'm actually gonna be throwing 2 off the tee because 2 off the first tee box is always the rule in the casual play. But yeah, we're just gonna see what we can end up doing, man. I think I'm gonna be going like something a little bit more on the overstable side of a fairway, and just because of the fact that I don't have that much power with the mid-range to throw it on a low ceiling and keep it turning over or I don't have enough faith of the mid-range to start getting flat and then going back right when driven hard and flat down the fairway. Alrighty, not the best tee shot on my part. I just need to get some more practice of me kind of just finessing the forehand instead of trying to power through it. I feel myself kind of not getting the best releases as of recently with the forehand, so need to get back into the lab. But we got like a nice little upshot. I'm gonna work something from right to left with the backhand low and something overstable. Probably go with the Justice here, push it off to the right side, and I know it's gonna have enough stability to go back left. And the reason why I'm going mid-range here is because I want the more overstable when throwing soft, because if I just throw my zone up there, it's gonna more than likely hold off right a little bit more. So yeah, I'm just gonna toss my Justice up there, see if I can get it just to float right and left, and hopefully we got a putt. This is wide open, so there's probably no excuse why we shouldn't be able to get our up and down here. But if we don't execute it, then we still got to make a putt. All right, so we didn't pure our gap that we were looking for, but we were able to get fortunate with the ground play to not be stuck behind one of these roots or one of these trees. So we got a putt, man. Not very far, probably like a good 10 to 15 footer. So these are the ones that you got to capitalize on because it is for a par save, and par's good here. There it is. Kind of got a little bit nervous, thought I softened that a little bit too hard, but just above the rim always goes in. All right, so now we got hole 2, par 3, 178 feet. It ain't nothing too complicated. You do have 2 kind of big routes. One is probably the one that I don't see a lot of, which is pretty much the dead straight at it kind of route with something a little bit understable and just kind of flexing it, just hold right. But then you also got the gap that's just straight right. And I see a lot of people do forehands, backhands, and I think I'm going forehand here. Just throwing something off a little bit off to the right side, kind of just letting it hold that anhyzer the entire way. And I mean, sometimes if you power it up too much, you might be looking at maybe hitting the basket or maybe even sometimes getting an ace. But a lot of times you just want to barely kind of crest the right side of the tree line and then just let it kind of just anhyzer back left. And then pretty much for the backhand, it's the exact same shot. Just keep it on some hyzer, don't throw it too hard, and kind of just let it skip up to the basket. Oh, so I can't lie. These, I threw 2 of my zones, both of them, just to see what the difference is. Not really any difference, besides that, you know, the Jawbreaker one's gonna stick wherever it kind of lands because it has the ability to grab the ground. But they both came out pretty clean, so can't be mad at that. The only thing is I don't know why we couldn't be in a more fortunate spot, because we got like this nice little branch right here kind of blocking our way, man. Don't know what kind of nature had in store for us, but I was not expecting this. Now we got a straddle putt for like a wide open, I don't know, like 18, 19, 20 footer. Yeah, it's enough complaining. Let's just drain it. There we go. How to just, you know, cross it out of the mind. We know what our complaint is. Just accept it, move on, make the putt. All the good stuff that we need to just encourage ourselves so that way we could actually be under par with the pretty difficult par 3 coming up next. Alrighty, now we got hole 3, par 3. I think it's 366 feet. And there's multiple different plays that you could play here. You got the straight at it gap that you could just throw like a nice hyzer flip, have something turning like midway through the flight, then have it kind of just hyzer out back left. Or if you want to be brave enough, you could throw a spike hyzer that just goes over all these telephone wires, and then you're basically playing plinko at the end of the day to see if you can get up there close to the basket. That's pretty much my tournament play, because if you throw anything off to the left side, there's chances that you can just, you know, automatically just accept a 4. But if you throw that big old hyzer route, more than likely you'll be able to crash down somewhere around the pin to where you might not have a putt, but you have a nice easy layup for the 3. I think I'm still going to do that play either way, just because, I mean, I just don't like digging and looking for a disc over there on the left side. So I think I'm just going to do that hyzer play out to the right side and just see if we can get close, man. Yeah, but some of you cycles out there are going to go straight at it. Alrighty, so this is probably my fault for giving everybody the secret sauce to an easy 3. But it is what it is, you know. You got to give people the lines out here, because this was kind of a shank shot. I didn't throw it as well as I should have. I actually hit the light pole or the wires, or the pole that holds the wires, the telephone wires, and kind of got lucky through here. So if you got some power, if you got some pop while spinning the disc, this is definitely the line. Because I mean, if I threw it better, we probably could have been up there close to the basket. But at least we got a putt now. A little bit of a left to right headwind. Let's see if we can drain it, man. This would be a great 2 if we can actually capitalize on it. Oh, great catch by the basket. I know I said some mean things, some cruel, mean things about the baskets not catching. That was a great catch right there. So, I'd like to say thank you. Oh, snap. Oh, okay. It just says Spiderweb's holding a leaf. Boy, I thought I was about to make a run for it right there. I was about to leave everything. I swear, man. Alrighty, now we are on hole 4, which is a par 4, 445 feet. And the main thing is just to get out and right of this main fairway. If you pretty much just take the dead straight out of gap, you're going to be kind of fooling yourself, because more than likely you're going to have to scramble and at least save a par. So it might look simple just going straight at it, because there's like a big old gap that opens up, but you really just want to hit the right side and then just get out there to the open, and then you got like another upshot. So hopefully you get the 3, which this is probably one of the more funner holes of the course, because it requires a nice little shape for the forehand to go right, and then also, depending on what you're left with, a nice little technical shot to get up there towards the basket. So typically I like to just go a lot stable and then get right. Sometimes I like to go distance driver for the skip right, or I like to take just the mid-range, make sure I'm hitting the gap and not reaching that back wall of trees, and then just, you know, dealing with what I had to do. But today, I think it's probably a distance driver type shot because I do want the skip. The wind's not blowing too much, so I think that's what we're going with. And also, if y'all hear my voice and it sounds a little bit stuffy, I am still coming down from a little sickness, so that's the reason why this post and the last post are pretty much away from each other. Had a little bit of a cold and a lot of different things kind of hindering me from actually getting out here and recording some videos, plus a nice little cut on my finger. I tried attempting a video yesterday, but it didn't go out as planned, and I kind of just drained it, like ran out of injury 9 holes in, or ran out of energy 9 holes in, and that video just didn't come out. Like, I wasn't getting no pop on the disc, nothing was, you know, going my way. Feel a little bit decent, but we still got the stuffy nose, still got the congestion. So that's why we're out here getting this video done, because we at least feel a little bit better than we did yesterday. Just want to throw that out there. Alrighty, didn't get the ground play that we were hoping for, but luckily enough, we can at least sling the disc a little bit today, because we are going to have to take this a little bit high and wide. Hopefully we can get some flip up, and the basket's still up there. We probably got like a good 4 something uphill to actually get back to a decent spot for a look for the birdie. But also from this position, par, I'm fine with taking it. The only thing is that I wish we could have got some better play off this grass, but it is what it is. I really wanted to just be up there because that's pretty much the ideal landing spot, is just somewhere up there so you can actually see the basket. But this is okay too. At least we got a gap that we could kind of hit. I just need something that I could put on hyzer and then I know will go left. Which, I think I know what I want to do, which is the Shrike. We just barely got a brand new Shrike, put it in the bag. It's a little bit stable, but I know we probably have the glide to actually get up there. I know probably should go a little bit softer, but we don't really got a crazy wind today. Left to right, probably won't fly over there as far, but if we can at least get pin high, that's pretty much what we want to do. It looks like we did our job done. Or, I said that completely out of order. I believe we accomplished what we were set out to do. Hopefully I didn't block any of it, but there is a good chance that we might be parked. Oh man, that thing was nice, dog. That's a great save. We can at least save the birdie right here. Alrighty, so like I was saying over there, great throw to even give myself a look. The only thing is, we must have ate our Wheaties today because we set a little bit long. I thought we were pin high. Went way too long. Probably a good 30 something footer right here. Slightly downhill. But these are the ones that we live for right here. Ah, a little too high. I thought I honestly just sailed past it. But it is what it is. At least we got a piece of it to at least save the par. Because either way, from back there, that's still a great par save. It would have been an even better birdie, but it's still decent nonetheless. Alrighty, so now we're on hole 5, par 3. I believe it's 281 feet, but we are playing this uphill slightly. And the main goal here is just to get your disc on some hyzer moving left. Right now we're going on a 3 to 4 hole birdie stretch, which you got 5, which is a short little par 3, hole 6, short little downhill par 3, 7 uphill short little par 3, and then 8 is a tight finesse par 3. So if you could get at least 3 out of the next 4, you're sitting pretty. But if you get 4 of the next 4 going into hole 9, because hole 9 could be easily devastating to anybody. But yeah, this is pretty much where you want to at least get your birdies if you haven't picked up any on the other part of this 9. And yeah, I think right here, typically a slower fairway is probably the play. If it is calm, I could imagine some people throwing mid-range or even just a slight tailwind. I could see people throwing mid-ranges and getting a good look. I think the main key is just at the very end, just to get lucky in between the wall of trees that's over there. But if you hit any that are by the basket, there are some openings. The bad thing that you don't want to do is just go long right here, because if you go long, more than likely you're gonna have to do like a Anheuser or a Heiser bid at the basket, and you might not even have a line. So a lot of times you do want to play it short, and if you get cleared through the trees, there is a nice little OB that's just past the basket. So the main key here is just either one, play plinko with the trees, or get something that just barely skips at the tree line, hoping you could barely get up there for a look at the bird. Alrighty, well, we got a little bit fortunate with the trees. I think we got like a nice little tree kick back. I think we might have hit this one and just smacked down. If we would have hit it and kicked right, probably bad case of luck, because we'd have been out there somewhere lost. But we got here, got a nice little birdie look, nothing too much in the way. Probably like a nice little 15, maybe 18 footer. Don't know, not good with distances. But we gotta knock this one down, especially not capitalizing on the last one from the last hole. Ah, and I left it high again. Oh, buddy. Well, at least I can say I'm giving myself looks, you feel me? That's all I can really ask for. All right, let's see if we can make this one a little bit shorter. There it is. So, without ruining the shot too much, oh snap, did I ruin my pants? I heard a little rip. But either way, without ruining the shot too much, there was people actually over there on the tee box of hole 6. So doing the intro right here on the most iconic basket in Lubbock, on the most iconic hole in Lubbock, which is hole 6. It's a par 3, 100-something foot downhill shot. It's just majestic, just watching the disc kind of just glide into this hillside, and then, you know, making the putt. It's just something about it, you know, makes it all the more better, and why you probably would throw your whole bag on this hole. But during the big arms on the Brazos, I'm pretty sure we're gonna have this as an island green. I believe Mason keeps it to at least maybe like a 90-foot difference around the basket. Oh snap, this is starting to get a little hot. But yeah, we're gonna have a nice little island green. Gonna have some obstacles in the way to, not obstacles, but make this hole a lot harder, so you're not softening anything too far, or you're not selling too fast and easily getting a birdie. So I don't know what the rules are going to be about drop zones. I'm pretty sure he's going to be getting them approved, so this hole might get a lot harder. But yeah, the main goal here is just, you know, getting your mid-ranges or your putters, and it's honestly just dealer's choice. You could throw a forehand out wide over the trees off here to the left side, or you could just throw a backhand right at it, or you could crash in, throw a hyzer over the trees off to the right with the backhand and have it crash in. So dealer's choice, however you want to attack this hole. It is what it is, and hopefully you could, you know, walk away here with the birdie. And now luckily for me, as y'all seen, we actually got right here, which will be inside the island. Got a nice little 20-footer, and thing I didn't do last time, and the reason why I missed those last 2 putts high, I didn't read the wind. So I'm reading it now. I hear something buzzing around me. Oh, okay, it's just a fly. We're chilling. But the bad thing for me is that I've been reading it, or I haven't been reading it, and all the putts have been going a little bit too high. So now that we read that it's a headwind, I don't know if it's getting too much into my head. I'm gonna leave this just a little bit lower, and if we end up hitting cage, then we overcorrected, and we'll be, I think we should be fine by then. But we gotta pick this one up for the last 2, man. Left it high again. Golly, Isaac. I would much rather have that miss, because that means we're at least adjusting, than leave it high again and basically seems like we're not adjusting at all. Not making bogeys though, I can say that. I thought I was speaking a little bit too soon, but we were able to knock it down. Now we're on hole 7, par 3, 274 feet. And after you come downhill, you got a nice gruesome uphill shot that you kind of gotta go through. So you got an easy walk going downhill, but then you got a devastating walk going back uphill through the next hole, which is a little bit of a marathon right here. So make sure you keep your water, make sure you keep your snacks, because you know they say back 9, snack time. So you really want to refill after you get done with this hole. Unlucky for me, I didn't bring nothing besides a couple bottles of water, and I'm almost done with the first bottle. But here, depending on what kind of wind you got, you can get a mid-range up there for some of the bigger arms. But I feel like a lot of people are either going to do the flex forehand off to the left side, let it kind of just swing in right, or you could do a backhand either right at it with like a nice little hyzer flip, or a slight hyzer off to the right side and go left. The only problem is that if you do that, you do got some branches and stuff that kind of like to block some of the wider angles going back left. I don't trust the forehand getting up there off to the left side, because one, either I'm gonna be too short, or two, I'm gonna sell it too long. So I think I'm just gonna go with the backhand right at it with probably my leopard and just see if we can not get up and down. But this is another one of those kind of must get birdies. But if you do end up going long, you got a pretty scary downhill putt coming back. So hopefully you don't end up long here. Like I said, it's just a devastating uphill battle with yourself climbing up this hill, man. Whew. It's not for the faint of heart, but we do it. We do it because we love it. Whew. Oh, let me check the wind real quick. I don't feel like it's a headwind. That kind of came straight down, but I'm gonna take a little break right here, gather my thoughts. And we kind of need this one to go in, man. Can't stress it enough. And I'm afraid that if we hit any part of the lower basket or high basket, we might be sailing down past the hill. So don't really want that. I'm gonna putt this a little bit lower. Same putt, but hopefully I'm gonna put it a little bit lower, put more power onto it, and hopefully it's more of a direct shot right at the basket. None of this little soft BS that we've been doing. Ah, we did it. Just pulled it right, man. Dang, that was so good. Ah, wish I could do that every single time, but player 2 is always better than player 1. Cannot deny that anymore. Oh, there goes our first bogey. Golly, Isaac. We're so close to actually freaking 4-putt that. Alrighty, now we are on hole 8. And I don't know if y'all saw it because my memory card did get kind of full. On that last hole, we actually 3-putted and ended up walking off with a bogey. So first bogey of the day came naturally. Just naturally bad at putting. And yeah, no excuse there. Wish our first bogey would have came from like a great scramble, but nope. Came from just terrible performance on the green. But either way, we're on hole 8. The main key here is just either getting something just super overstable and pushing it straight down the fairway and just letting it kind of just get left. That's pretty much the ideal play. I've seen people go outside left with a hyzer forehand and trying to just spike it into the green. Or I've done myself, big old spike hyzer over this right boot tree and kind of just letting it go off left. But that's with a crazy left to right wind, which we do not have that today. We pretty much just got a straight tailwind right here. So the main thing is that I'm gonna try to do is just get something a little bit more beefy, kind of just work it up there. And then there's a little bit like there's like a little log that's just right before the basket that more than likely you would want to be there, but if you do get too close to it, it kind of breaks up your putt, and you gotta putt from like a higher place. But you're probably 15 feet if you get to that log. But if you push it too far straight, there is like a little bit of a grouping of water that's just right behind the basket. It's probably like a good 80, maybe 90 feet past the basket that you pretty much don't want to be in. So there's pros and cons of being both long and short. So I think I'm gonna go with my Justice, put out like a slight flex off to the right, and then just have it kind of just stall in left. And yeah, that's pretty much the play. It's either the Justice or the Captain Raptor. I'm not too sure, but we gotta it's like a nice little fill out process we gotta kind of bring together. But we need this one before we get into hole 9. Alrighty, so I ended up going Captain Raptor because one, I don't have trust with the Justice, which I know it's going to be overstable, but I just recently took out my runway out of the bag and put the Justice in, and it's probably been a good 6-7 months since I've ever even thrown a Justice. So I don't have the complete understanding of what it's going to do. I've had the Captain Raptor in the bag for a good, I would say solid week. I was gonna say 3 to 4 days, but that's just playing. But I've had it inside the bag for a week, so all the field work and all the other stuff, the Captain Raptor been inside the bag, so just had more trust with it. I kind of just put on like a stolly backhand line, but if I'd got a little bit more flatter, we probably could have got in here a little bit more, but we actually hit the trees, dropped down in a favorable spot. I thought we were gonna be a little bit more tucked in back there, but we got like a nice struggle putt right here if we can actually get it. It's not too bad, not too good either. Need to be more direct with this one because there is a tree kind of blocking it, so I can't give it like a nice little floaty bid. I have to be really spinny, really at it, and hopefully get this one, man. We need it, especially after that bogey. Just need something to build the confidence up. You feel me? Oh boy, just way too low. Dang, man. At least we're getting our putts in, man. That's all I can really just be thankful for. We know what our adjustment is. It's just we need to be able to accomplish that the first shot, not the second shot. Oh, buddy. We stayed clean up until this point, but now kind of just falling apart. Gotta lock in. It's alright. Still even par. Nothing to hang our head on. We've give ourselves plenty of looks. So that at least I could say I'm happy about. So, as you can see behind me, this ain't the original hole 9. This is actually the Birdie Productions tee pad that Mason likes to run a lot of his one-day flex starts or even his tournament style positions. Actually a pretty fun line. The only thing is that this tee pad really isn't built out far enough, but Mason does give you some grace with like a white flag right here so you can step off to the side right here. Don't know if we're actually playing this layout in the big arms, but I'm just gonna give you this little area. I could show y'all the long or the original layout to see y'all comparisons on which one, but I'm playing this one because I think this is probably the layout that he's gonna play. It's a tricky little par 3, not too far, but there is a lot of guardian trees just blocking the area, so I don't know. I didn't get confirmation from Mason, so don't take this as, you know, said and done, but yeah, this is the one that I know Mason to, you know, play during some of his tournaments. So let's see if we can walk out with a birdie right here. And there's multiple different lines right here. You could take the forehand off wide and kind of just swing it in right, but you are playing with those trees over there. Or you could take something with like a nice little flex or a Anheuser turn line and kind of just match that angle. But there is a whole bunch of reeds and everything to the right side that, I mean, if you're over there, you're pretty much lost your disc. And if we do get rain really bad up into the point of big arms, then there's gonna be water off to the right side. So there is a possibility for OB over there to the right side. And if you end up going left, it's not the end of the world, but you are pretty far from the basket. So this right here is no guarantee lines, but you could manifest one. Did have a terrible tee shot off the tee. As y'all saw, kind of got bailed out to make even the amount of progress that I did make. But we are up here, got like an outside the circle look. Let's see if we can drain it, man. Need to get back to under par. This is where you need to at least get one before the stretch of holes coming up. Because this is where this can make or break your round for the rest of the round. Ah, buddy. Hopefully sooner or later we can find the putt, man. We can find it. All I need is just to knock down a couple 20 footers and we'll be good. Because then I'll know where the aim is. Ooh, alrighty. Now we're on to hole 10. It's a par 3, 200 and something feet, dead straight tunnel shot. Anyways, it's the same thing like any other hole out here. Pick your poison, but the gap is straight. You either could do a nice hyzer flip to straight, right at it. Something that could either hyzer out off left to give yourself just a nice easy par look. Or you could forehand straight, or there's some sneaky local routes off to the left side. If you get something on some Anheuser, moving left and then towards the end, moving right. Hopefully by the time that this gets around big arms time, hopefully this is mowed out because one, it's gonna be great for big arms, but two, it's gonna be great for the next couple of weeks after big arms, so that way I can get some nice clean footage out for y'all. But I think right here what I'm gonna be going with is the backhand flip up with the detour. I've just been having so much success with it that, I mean, this just pretty much like lines up perfectly for that shot if I can execute it right. But a lot of people, if they throw it too low, there is a mound that's probably like 50 feet from the basket. I can see a lot of people hitting that. And then, I mean, if you have something that's slick enough, you can easily get an anti-skip off of it and go right. But if you go all air towards the basket, there is a little bit of some room back there that you can go past if you get clean. But then also there's a bunch of reeds and weeds that are off left of the basket that if you're in there, good luck trying to find your disc because it does get pretty bad over there. Man, I can't even lie to y'all. Like, just the detour, ever since I put it inside the bag, it's like one of those discs that has like completely changed my viewpoint on flippy disc. Just for the fact of how good it is. I don't think I've had another fair or mid-range fly exactly like this flies. I've had some flippy mid-ranges in my life, but this thing, like if I put on just a slight bit of hyzer, all it's gonna do is just flip up and then just go straight. Like it ain't gonna just like do that kind of like really fast, which the Soul pretty much did that. I had to put on like a crazy amount of hyzer to actually get the flight that the Detour has. But even whenever I soft it quite a bit, I'm still gonna get that nice little fade off to the right. I don't know what James Conrad did to this disc, but shout out to him, man. This thing is just too good. Now let's just see if we can capitalize with the putt right here, just to make it oh so much better. Ah, hi again. At least I'm not leaving them short. I can't say that. I started getting ready for Big Arm Series last week, and it didn't go out because one, my work schedule was completely out of whack, so didn't really have the time to film as much as I wanted to. And then two, I kind of just jumped into it without like a mental or without like a plan ahead of how I wanted to do it. So I'm gonna be doing some thinking about how I want to do it, and then hopefully this coming up week that y'all are seeing this on Friday or Saturday, y'all should be getting that. I think we only got what, 2 maybe 3 weeks up until Big Arms, so yeah, we're gonna do a lot of prepping, a lot of putting in preparation for that. But this is where it's sitting at right now, so y'all can see the improvement if we do make any coming up soon. Oh, buddy, that one felt good though. Alrighty, we got hole 11, part 3, 258 feet. This is probably the one. This is probably the hole that has the most controversy on it, because a lot of times when people come out here, they say that May Simmons doesn't have any gaps. But if you can see from the video that I just shot, you got two different lines. I pretty much just put you at the exact point of where you can at least see the basket, but you got this right gap that is pretty much cleared out for like a straight hyzer all the way towards the basket. But then if you want to just get like a nice little funky, you could forehand something that's super overstable off to this left side, kind of just flex it around, and both those gaps are cleared. There's some freaky guys that like to go straight at it with something that just turns and flexes out, something a little bit more on the overstable side, and just punch it straight through the gap. That's a little bit of an insane, you know, idea of breaking down this hole, but I've seen it work to perfection sometimes. And yeah, I think I'm just gonna go with like the little bit more overstable mid-range, which is my Rock 3. Put it off to the right side and just let it kind of just hyzer over left. But really want to talk about what we've been doing, man. This freaking putting, it's so bad. We are 1 over par due to putting. I don't think we've been outside of like 35 feet on all of my bogeys. So I'm just gonna take a time to reflect. I'm probably gonna take like a little chill pill, chill out for a little bit before I actually do this tee shot, which y'all probably already seen it off of me explaining what I was gonna do. But I'm gonna take a little bit of a chill, and then I should see y'all at the green if we made it all the way towards the basket. If not, then we're up there, you know, scrambling somewhere. But either way, I'm gonna take a little bit of a break, get some water in my system, you know, and just refuel, because we need to log back in, man. Man, I've been really digging these slight hyzer throws where like I know I need to put it on like that one angle hyzer and it just holds that line. I've been having some really good success with them as of recently. And I'm not saying that I'm a lead or anything at throwing them, but they are feeling good out of the hands. I don't know what it is, but I think that's my preferred angle right now, other than, you know, no, I would say that is my preferred angle. Because if I try putting anything on like a severe hyzer angle, that's when I grip lock them too high. And then flat, and then hyzer, I'm kind of just pulling them or leaving them two nose up. So hyzer, like a slight bit of hyzer, letting the disc just kind of drift off back left is the money spot for me. So I think if I can rely on that a little bit longer, and then just, you know, fixing everything else, we should be all right. There we go. Got another birdie. That's what we needed. Just like a nice little water break, nice little chill pill. The only problem with drinking water is now I gotta find somewhere to go pee. Good thing we're in the woods though, because I could go pretty much anywhere. Whew. Alrighty, now we're on to hole 12. It's par 3, 188 feet. And the main thing here, or I don't know, there's no really main thing here because there is two routes now that like a big tree has fallen. You can either go straight down the gap that's on the right side with the backhand, something overstable, can't throw it very hard because you need the disc kind of going left pretty quickly. And then you got like a nice little uphill that if you get a skip and you go past it, you got like a downhill slope, and you also got water on the left side. So you kind of just either want to crash into that hillside or throw something shorter and let it kind of just gradually go up to that hillside. But now that this left side tree has fallen, you got like a nice little forehand that is like a pray you get through a gap kind of line. But if you hit a tree short, then I mean you're left with an easy up and down for the 3. The biggest thing about this one is getting through this first gap if you are going through the right, because there are two slanted trees that kind of make up their own like fake mando. That, I mean, if you hit one of them and you go right or left, you're pretty much scrambling. You're basically throwing like another tee shot, because it is that bad with trees around here. So the main thing is just getting off out into the fairway and just getting up and down for a 2 or 3, depending on how lucky you get. I think I'm going to be going with my Justice, because I do need that nice little hook off left. I just got to make sure. I just don't know if I'm going to do standstill, if I'm going to do an actual run up. It just depends with the comfortability. Like I said, I've been hitting those slight hyzer releases. So I think a run up is not necessary, but I think it is for me to hit the actual line. So I think just soften something on that slight little hyzer, letting it just get left, is the play. The left side, I would take it, but I think it's just too lucky for me to actually do something with it. So yeah, this is a pretty much must get hole, but it could easily turn into a bogey or double bogey if you're not careful. All right, this is the part of the story where if you become a hero, you could end up burying yourself or digging yourself an early grave. So I really don't know what to do. I think I really just want to get pin high straight. I just don't know if I want to do it with the backhand or the forehand, because if I backhand something too perfect, there's a chance I can end up on that drop off left. But if I do the forehand and just throw something at the ground, that big tree might come into play. So I think it is just the backhand, man. I just need something. I just need to aim it at that big tree, turn it slightly off to the left side, and hopefully it just, you know, either stalls out and hyzers back left, or just follows that anhyzer line all the way pin high at least. Not the worst possible location. Could have been a lot worse, but this is a skill shot to actually get up and down for the 3. Yeah, we should have a look at it. That honestly did that way too soft. I kind of thought I was past that big tree, but once it started like flattening out, it actually hit the root, got like a nice little hop over it. So thankful that we were able to at least get pin high. Okay, hole 13, par 3. Don't think it's quite 400 feet, even though the tee sign does say 400, but that's still a long normal pin location. I'm pretty sure we play in the forehand favorable location right here, which is probably about like a good 350, 330 maybe, but it is tucked off over to the right. There is like a nice little river that, or like trench that runs over, depending on if we get like a lot of rain leading up until Big Arms. It might be full, it might not, it just depends. Yeah, the main thing here is just grabbing an overstable disc. Nothing too fast because there is water long of the basket, but getting an overstable disc, forehanding it, and just getting right. If you don't have a forehand, then something that just moves left to right with the backhand. Honestly, dealer's choice here. There's not really anything too worried about, even though that there is water up the OB River. If there is water in there, or surrounded by water, is going to be OB, of course. But there is a bailout center left that, I mean, if you get pin high, you're probably going to be left with like a 60, maybe 70 footer. But I mean, if you can putt, then that's a nice little bailout area. But me, I pretty much got to put it underneath the basket. So I think I'm probably going to go Captain Drafter here. I got to kind of just throw it over the trench the entire way and just plan on not getting a crazy skip off right, or planning on not throwing it too short and then hitting the right side of the trench and then going inside the trench. So yeah, hopefully we can at least get underneath the basket here, or if not, an ace, because this is like the perfect suited up one for an ace. But I'm having too much fun on this little rocking chair. Pretty sure a lot of people will be rocking back and forth on this thing too. This is just nice, man. Ooh, it's like a little playground thing. I'm just a little kid at the end of the day, you feel me? All right, let's do this tee shot real quick that yeah, I've already seen, I'm pretty sure. I don't know, but Ooh, so did not plan to hit a short tree, but I think my play here is not gonna be the Captain's Raptor. I think I threw a second shot, and I think it's gonna be the play, which is my Thunderbird on just straight hyzer, throwing it just a little bit wider, and just kind of just letting it crash off. Because I mean, if I throw the Captain's Raptor on too much anhyzer, then I'm forcing the disc to come way left. But then if I throw it on just enough anhyzer, it's me coming in a little hot off to this green, and then we got too much flat area that we might just, you know, skip way too far right. So I think throwing just the straight hyzer with the Thunderbird, if it comes in a little too hot, we might actually just dig into the ground, or we might just barely get like a nice little skip. So yeah, I think that's the play for now on. But we're stuck with the Captain's Raptor, so we got to figure out some way to get up and down for our 3 right here. All right, got pin high. I'm having a lot of trouble with this anhyzer type shot. I can't get it to hold over quite a bit enough that I really want. All right, let's go see if we can make that. Whew. So one of the biggest things that I've been kind of forgetting to do is just filling out the putter before I actually putt. I got into this habit of just grabbing the disc, thinking of where I want to put my hand, and then releasing it. But I need to remember to just give it like a couple tosses in my hand, find that good sweet spot, and then go. So, good thing I remembered. So hopefully we can finish this, you know, course out pretty good. Alrighty, hole 14, where all the magic happens. Probably the most aced hole in Lubbock, I would assume. I just heard a lot about hole number 14 basically being everybody's first ace. Pretty sure there's some more around here. A lot of them over there at McKenzie, Shorts of Shorts, but that course hasn't been installed for a while. So this one has been here. Not the longest, but it's been out here for a little while. So there's been a lot of different changes on this course. There's been some trees falling and everything. But I mean, I've accidentally chained out and I've accidentally hit basket multiple times. So, and I've also witnessed an ace on this hole. So it's hole 14, par 3, 198 feet. Not very far, pretty much right there, right at you. There is a OB, like a stream valley that's just right there that you got to cross over. And then you're pretty much home free after you get to that. But there is some reeds right behind the basket. I would say if you throw it accidentally like 100 long, you're going to be stuck in there and it's pretty hard to find your disc. But there is bailout centers left and right. There's a big tree if you leave it too high off to the left side. That, I mean, if you accidentally blast it too hard and you leave it high, it could catch your disc and drop you down probably a good like 40-45 feet. It's dealer's choice again. You can either backhand and hyzer something, hyzer flip something with the backhand off to the right side, or you can forehand straight at it, or you can forehand wide angle. Honestly, it's just dealer's choice right here. I think I'm going to go zone, basically right at it, and then just plan for a fade off right. Probably throw it just a little bit higher as well, because I mean, if I blast it too straight, like I said, those reeds climb up pretty fast, and I've honestly been in those more times than not as of recently. So I'm gonna power down just a little bit and hopefully we could get underneath the basket right here. Alrighty, so this is what happens whenever you try giving it a run, you just leave it too high. Pretty sure we were on track for the basket, just a little too high. You can just tell by the shape of it, it was coming in on the angle. Probably could have smashed it if it was a little bit lower, but now we got a tricky little par putt. Oh, pretty spinny. I don't think we got any kind of wind right now. Slight tailwind, I would assume. But let's see if we get this one. Oh, online. Probably didn't even need a step, honestly. Yep. Dang. I don't know my own strengths. I don't know how far I could get just the normal spin putt but definitely didn't need the step right there. Probably for them like 55, maybe 60 footers, the step is necessary. Alrighty, hole 15, par 4, 518 feet. Don't know how accurate that footage is, that foot range is. I don't know if 518 is the correct distance. It plays farther. Not really. Honestly, the main thing is just to get outside this first gap right here. Either if you could push something fairly straight for a good amount of distance, you would have a nice little open shot for the outside route, or you could forehand something and then have it kind of turning up there. But typically forehands do get you quite a bit of distance, even though they don't look like they're going that far. But getting something not to hook very far right, something that just kind of bends over right slightly, something that pushes farther and moves right at the same time is pretty much ideal. Because I mean, once you get out there and you look backwards, it's more of a straight shot rather than a dogleg right. But I'm kind of confused on what I really want to do, because I have had good success with the forehand, but the backhand is the play for like the max distance for an easy upshot. But I think I just need to trust the forehand. I think I'm just going to throw the boss on like a slight bit of hyzer off to the left side and just kind of just let it push off and hold right. We do got a slight right to left wind, so it will kind of push it a lot farther. I'm probably going to put just a little bit more mustard on the forehand on this shot than I normally would. But I mean, if I could get something, like if it was a left to right wind, I think a backhand is the best play for it, just to kind of just hold over. And if you got something that's just like a slightly overstable or like a slightly understable disc, kind of just letting it kind of just fly over right and then stand up and then go back left, that is like a great money shot. But there are going to be some insane people that take it over the water over here off to this right side and try to cut off the distance by quite a bit. I'm not doing that. I'm going to try to play smarter than harder. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this hole, man. Par 4, like I said, should be an easy gettable one, but once you do get up to that green, it is blocked by a lot of trees. Alrighty, now that the grass is a little bit higher, I can't bank on getting any like crazy skips left. So we're gonna have to kind of hyzer off something off to this right side, and hopefully we can play plinko with those trees to cut back left. But I also can't throw it too good and have too much luck, because I kind of need to hit those trees on the back side, back over there, to kind of slow the disc down so we don't go into the water deep, because there is a drop off right behind the basket. I would say it's about 50 feet long of the basket. But I'm gonna do the backhand over here, kind of just with the overstable disc. I think we're gonna go with the Justice, put it off right, and hopefully we can just get down there and hopefully get a look for our 3. Do got like a nice little right to left wind, so this will kind of help it in going left. Alright, I softed it because I was way too afraid of going deep in that water. Alright, 4 is not the best, not the worst either, so we'll take it. See, now this is a part of like, do I play trick shot right here? Do I play a little Mr. Brodie Smith role play right here and try to go through this top gap? Or do we just take the smart route and then just jump putt something and give ourselves a nice little look? Oh, buddy, why did I do this to myself? I think my best chance is a slight forehand, just like a little tosser up there, and just give ourselves the best chance. That's my only option, because I feel more confident in hitting this gap with the forehand than a soft little backhand or even a jump putt. Oh, buddy. That's why you need to focus up, Isaac. Alright, I'm going to do the jump putt just in case we know what to do next time. Alright, pulled it, but that was still a lot better than if I would have peered the other gap. Alright, so this is possibly going to be the last hole of this camera and not other video, but I am gonna have to run to my car and go get the attachment for my phone so I can finish it up off on the phone. Woo! Hopefully we are able to get that one. Alrighty, now we got hole 16, part 3, 418 feet. And as you can tell, maybe by the quality of the video, we're now on the iPhone. And I kind of messed up, man. So, yesterday I went to go get another tripod and ended up getting this one that the phone's currently sitting on. And pretty much every single tripod that you get comes with like a phone adapter or phone holder. And it's the little cheap one that has the metal thing to kind of hold it with the plastic, and it has like a spring tensile thing that kind of just locks your phone into place. Well, my brain said, you know what, maybe I should test it first, you know? And I go and I pull it, and I guess I'm just too strong, man. Kind of broke it, but we were able to rig it up somehow that it's kind of just holding now. But yeah, hole 16. Honestly, there's not really a dealer's choice. There is a dealer's choice on the backhand, but the forehand here, the only way you're able to get it is if you got like enough power to Anheuser something the entire way, because it is a slight uphill. I know it says 418, but it probably plays closer to like 430, maybe. I would say 430, 435, just like on a straight hyzer. I think I'm gonna go, we got a slight tailwind, so I think I'm gonna go Shrike on like that slight hyzer thing, since we do have a tailwind. I know it's not gonna flip up, but I kind of just want the distance to at least cover this ground, because I know the grass is a little bit higher, so we're not gonna get any favorable skips. But I could see some of the stronger players either going right at it with like a slower distance driver, like 11 or 10 speed. But a lot of us out here are gonna be going with that faster disc to actually get up there. But in a headwind, more than likely, a lot of people are gonna be going distance driver. Well, yeah, and you really just want to get around this big tree that's on the left side, because I mean, if you're stuck in it, you're not gonna go past it. But there is a OB road right behind the basket. I would say it's probably like 70, maybe 80 feet past the basket. So for your big arms, that could come into play really quick. This hole, I count like on half of one of my hands how many times I've actually buried this hole. And one of those times involved a spit out. So that's why I counted it as half. But we got like an outside look. Probably need the stepper here, just for the fact that it is uphill and it's on a high rise. So I kind of need that extra oomph in it to actually get this one. Still sitting at even par, I believe. And we got 3 more chances to at least improve on that. So let's see if we could get this one. Come on, baby. Oh, not enough? That's crazy. Oh, it was probably the jumper. I thought it was a stepper, but it's the jumper. It's funny going back to the phone. Feels like the good old days where we used to run out of storage, have to erase everything, move everything onto the computer. Ah, the good old days. I miss those days. That's whenever we're probably our most consistent, I think. Making our way back. Hopefully we can be back to our regularly scheduled program after everything about me heals. I think the biggest thing that's been lingering the longest is the sty, but I feel like we're on the final stages of it, because kind of popped yesterday. I don't know if I'm about to put like a little disclaimer right here. If you are grossed out by this stuff, hit that 15-second skip button or the 10-second skip button. Skip past this, but it kind of just was leaking yesterday. All the pus came out and I had to clean it over and over again. I didn't force it. I was just trying to like stretch my eyelid because it was kind of itchy. So was rubbing right here, pulled it just a little bit too much, and a lot of it just bursted out. So hopefully we're on our final stages. Hopefully it didn't make it worse, and hopefully we don't end up with another one sometime soon, because that would be horrendous. But it is what it is. This is for our par, man. Hole 17, par 3, 226 feet. And this is the one where I've been wanting to ace for a while. This is another one of those ones that is probably up there for the most ace on this course. It's either 2, 14, or 17. I don't think many people get 6, just for the fact that, I mean, these baskets don't really like to catch the most. And 6, you're going downhill, and it's just too much speed to actually have the basket catch. I've thrown it in one time, but that was like, you know, after multiple shots. But yeah, this is one where, I mean, it's just downhill, but it's a lot shorter than hole 6. But we got like a nice little right to left wind. I'm actually gonna get 2 shots. I'm gonna throw both my zones. I don't know which one I'm gonna go with first. Probably the Z zone, because I know it's a little bit more stable. But I mean, this one, if you give it a run and you throw it too low, or if the disc kind of just drops out of the sky, you're pretty much just gonna be parked. But if you try to get too fancy and you throw it a little bit too high, the disc is not gonna slow down, and there is a hazard area or OB area along the poles on the outside. So Island Green, I don't know if Mason has another plan for it to have like another drop zone or something, but I mean, this one is just, you know, get it inside the island, make your putt, and then just get off the hole, because it really ain't too complicated. I mean, the most you could probably take here is a bogey, but knowing that I just said that, we're probably gonna take a triple or maybe a double, possibly a quad. It just depends on how I'm feeling. But yeah, that's pretty much what we want to do, man. Alrighty, so picking up the Z zone was the best position for me to do right here, because we pretty much parked it. Now the only thing that can mess us up is a spit out or a yank right, but it is what it is. Honestly, not too bad about performance here. Wish you probably could have just sunk in a couple more of those birdies for par, or those par putts. But like I said, I just need to get more better on the green. Some more practice will do. And reading the wind, I'm pretty sure that's what a lot of the back or the front 9 missed putts were about. But some of the other ones were just, you know, not really getting the feel of the disc and not feeling comfortable with the grip. But I think we got everything figured out, so we're probably gonna hit the putting green after this round, get some putts in, and then, you know, call it a day. Alrighty, now we're on to the last and final hole. Hole 18, par 4, 534 feet. Plays a little bit shorter due to us going downhill, but I think it's gonna probably play true to distance, because we do got like a nice little right to left headwind, or it might be just more right to left strictly. But a lot of times, if I want to get like a little bit crazy, I will do the backhand Anheuser, just kind of letting it try to just drift off right, and then hopefully have enough stability to go back left. But with the right to left wind, I think I could get more distance off with the forehand, which I feel is like the play for a lot of people, because I mean, getting the forehand just dead straight leaves you with like a good, I would say 200 or 150 or even shorter for some of the long forehand throwers into the basket. But I mean, the further you are up the fairway, the more the gap to go into the basket gets. But if you do end up sawing something off right, you are gonna have to be contested with, or you are gonna be contested with, you know, some trees kind of blocking your way into the grouping of into the basket. But the more farther off left too, you're opening up that gap. So right is not good, but being way far left, just gonna leave you a longer upshot, but it's pretty much wide open. But you got an OB road over here, just right off the tee. Nothing too crazy about this hole. I don't know if Mason's gonna throw some OB over here off to the right side, but this is like a nice little finishing hole. Just throw something out there, pitch up, either take your easy birdie or take your, you know, easy par, depending on if you missed the putt or not, or if you shanked the upshot. I think I'm gonna go with the Boss and then just power it up. I pretty much got to get it on just a little bit of hyzer, push it far out. Hopefully it stands up and then goes up there. If I try to get any kind of turn off of it, all it's gonna do is just, you know, go straight left. But I don't think I like doing that play anymore. If I throw anything on Anheuser, it needs to be a little bit stable, but I need the glide of the Boss. So yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do, and hopefully we can execute it. Alrighty, so after that shank of a drive, we're left with this. I'm pretty sure Mason's gonna make this road and beyond OB, but it's not marked right now. So, I mean, I don't think anybody's taking this route any other time of the week, but I mean, it is what it is. I'm gonna have to take the backhand route or the backside route into the basket, just throwing it over here off to the right side, kind of just letting the disc get back left. Because if I try going forehand, there's just too many low-hanging branches over there off to the left side. So I think that's our best chance, throwing it up here off to the right. Hopefully we got like enough drift to go left. I just don't know if I go Justice or if I go something a little bit less stable. Forget it, we're going Justice, man. It's gonna be like a low, little bitty athletic move that we're gonna have to try and do, but hopefully we got that in our arsenal. Hopefully I'm athletic enough to pull this off. We're about to find out. And I think we might have actually parked that, I think we might have put that right underneath the basket. We put some good snap on that. And I thought it was low, but good thing that there's probably no grass over there. So we got like a nice little skip off to the left side. Hopefully we have a putt, man. Hopefully we didn't go deep. Alrighty, that's where the skills kind of prevail, man. Able to at least scramble something, pick something up out of thin air and scramble right here to actually have a putt. I think honestly we scrambled pretty good today. The only thing that I could say about today is one, our forehands, they were okay, but there were a couple that I know I missed right off the bat, like hole 1, hole 18. There's a couple more that I kind of forgot, but I know it's out there. And then also putting. Putting's been the main thing. I think the backhand honestly suited pretty good today, despite having like a little gash on our finger. We weren't throwing the disc as far as I would like, but I say give me like, I would say 3, maybe 4 more days of it actually healing, and we should be back to snapping the disc pretty hard. But that's enough of that being said. Let's go ahead and make this and end off at least 2 under. There it is. That's how you solidify it. Now, is 2 under the greatest score? No. But after not playing the best for the past 2 weeks, and then also being sick and not being able to get to the course for a very long time, I knew the putting was going to struggle. Like I said, the main thing about today is that, I mean, if we just stayed clean, I think 4 under, yeah, I think, I'm not too sure. I don't remember, 4 or 5 under was the score. But if we were actually, no, now that I think about it, I mean, if we don't make those bogeys, we probably end up a lot more under par. And let's just say if we just turn those bogey looks into, I don't know, birdies, because we were inside the circle, now we're looking at, you know, a round that we could definitely put up there and as our PR, you know what I'm saying? But there's only one thing that separates, you know, the PRs from the worst rounds, and that's on the green. So I'm about to lock in, get onto this putting green, but I definitely wanted to just get this video out to y'all so y'all can see the state in which May Simmons is kind of looking at right now. I think we got 3 more weeks up until we got big arms, so I could see a lot of things being adjusted here at the course. I think the week leading up to big arms, I'm gonna try and get some of the Birdie Productions people out here to actually film, and hopefully a lot of these OBs and everything are marked so we can get like a good state in which the course is looking like. But I mean, we still got quite a bit of ways to go down there. And also, if you are watching this and you have a sponsor in mind that you want to give or send to Mason, yeah, make sure y'all hit him up at Mason Williams on Facebook, Instagram, or Brady Productions on Instagram, and everything else that you find the social medias on. I think Brady Production on everything for any sponsorships. And yeah, if you were looking forward to Big Arms, make sure you go sign up. It's going to be here in Lubbock, Texas on the 26th through 27th, and you have to have a PDGA membership to sign up. I know I got a couple of those questions on the last Brady Productions layout that I posted. Just wanted to make sure things are clear on this video. But yeah, that's going to do it for the end of this video. And if there are any changes, I'm going to make sure I film those later on in the coming of weeks, or I make notes of them throughout this video. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and catch you on the next one. Peace.